But tell me, Gautam, with all this technological advancement, especially when it comes to banking, I'm sure there are hindrances as well that you face, right? Because you're operating volumes and masses of progression happening at almost a minute-to-minute basis.
Absolutely. So firstly, I think technology adoption always requires, in my mind, three things, right? People will adopt technology, if it is relevant to their needs. So it is, in that sense, innovative, that it is solving the problem that I have. Just because I have created a piece of application or solution that looks cool to me as an engineer or a product owner will not make a difference if it actually doesn't solve a real problem for the end consumer. So I think that is one of the biggest challenges of technology has always been, how do we make sure that whatever we build is actually relevant and solving a problem? And I think with this whole concept of A/B testing, user experience testing, labs that we have now globally, that is a way to make sure that whatever is being developed solves for that. The second thing, in a country like India, whatever we develop has to be inclusive. Because if you develop a solution that is only meant for a certain segment of society, it won't work. Because a country like India, it has to scale across urban and rural sectors. So it has to be inclusive in that sense. And that goes back to my earlier point that whenever, payment features were being built by these applications, they had to think of feature phones, smartphones, text-based phones, all of that. And the third biggest element within technology is the element of trust and or security. If I do not trust the piece of technology that is in front of me, or for that matter, anything, any process that is in front of me to do my job, I will not use it. Now, what happens with technology, and it has happened with digital payments also, there is digital fraud that happens. Cybersecurity is a big concern. The government, I think only in the last budget, declared 600 crores, earmarked 600 crores to actually work towards cybersecurity related crimes.
I was just going to come to that. I'm sorry to interrupt you here, because a lot of people are still very scared of putting data and knowledge as crucial as banking out there into the digital space.
And that goes back to the point on trust, right? Yeah. So I think that's why the importance of trust. I have to be able to trust the piece of technology that I'm working with. So we within Mastercard, and of course all of the companies that are in this space, are working on creating tools that create that ecosystem, right? With this trust being created. I was giving an example about this the other day to somebody where, up until about 2 or 3 years ago, we found a phone that could do biometrics, whether it was thumbprint or whether it was retina scan, as a very cool and secure thing. Quite frankly, it's not very secure, right? Because today, if I were to actually be able to copy your fingerprint, you've seen this in movies all the time, and I were to wear one of those things, I could get into your phone, right? There are enough ways to now develop a mask which can have your retina scan, and I can actually get into your phone. So there are other ways. So we have gone, at Mastercard, we've actually developed technologies where on the mobile phone, if you actually think about it, when you're holding your phone, there are about 1,000 variables that are different on how you hold your phone versus how I hold your phone. Yeah. So we have created technology where we are actually not only looking at the biometrics, your physical biometrics, we are actually looking at your behavioral biometrics also to know whether it's actually you trying to log in. And I tried this home. My kids, I have young kids, and they come to me very regularly and they'll say, Babu, please show your face, and they'll unlock my phone with my phone, and I don't want them to be using everything that I have, right? So now we have a way, the technology can actually tell you whether it's me holding the phone, whether it's me pressing the phone, whether it's somebody else. So I think those kind of innovations will have to continue to happen, in parallel for you to continue to build that trust. But one last element I do want to talk about related to your earlier question is all of this will not work if the regulatory and the government support is not around there. A great example is, you will continue to have bank fraud, you will continue to have payments fraud, because something will go wrong somewhere. Somebody will be able to hack into some system. But when a fraud happens, the banking ecosystem has to have the right governance in place, where if, say, my money goes from bank A to bank B in a fraudulent manner, and bank A knows that it's gone to bank B in a fraudulent manner, there has to be cooperation between the banks so that the money can be recovered.